digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Good evening, guy. Hello. That ain't right. That ain't right. No, that's better. And even my background doesn't look right, does it? Do you think I'll sort these things out beforehand, wouldn't you? What do I go for this evening? I will go for that one because that looks a bit cooler. I'll just sort this out. Sorry. That's better. Get in there. Hit that one. There you go. Thank you. Right. Good evening and welcome to THFC2 a Die, home at Tottenham Hotspur present. And of course, an exciting future under Thomas Frank as we enter now the proper part of the season. The transfer window has closed, has absolutely shut. And we have what we have for the rest of January, at least when we can add to it. Look, I've heard a lot over the last 24 hours since the window shut, right, that the window isn't good enough. We've got crap players and it's not going to be good enough. And Frank hasn't been backed and all this. I get it. I get why people are angry. I get why people are frustrated. I get why people are thing. But we have bought players that go straight into the first team. Now, where I will agree with you is our efforts to sell. Selling players has been an absolute joke this summer. And why the fact the likes of Bissouma still at the club, it boggles me. Now, he can still go to Turkey. The Turkish league window is still open until the 21st of September. I think the Saudi Arabian window is still open, though. I wish if Tequila can check that up for me and put it into the chat. When that shuts, but I think that's still open as well. So there is a couple of windows left, a couple of leagues that are open that we can sell players to. But guys, how are we this evening and how are we after yesterday? I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who came in, who liked to subscribe the show yesterday. But I will ask you one favor. Please, please, please pick up your memberships. They're only 99 cents. The more members we get, the more member shows we can do for you guys. And the aim is to basically keep doing this for non-members, but we want to give you members more shows, more streams, more content for you guys. So please help us grow. That we're looking to grow now between now and January, and we really want to grow. And how we can do that is by you helping us grow. By you, 99 pence. It isn't a lot, guys. It is not a lot. It's not even a pint of milk. And it really does help. It helps us keep doing what we're doing. All the money that you send in, it gets put back into this channel. As you can see with the new graphics, these graphics don't come cheap. This studio that was built for me did not come cheap. All the stuff at the bottom, there's a lot of money that goes out that I pay out in YouTube with the stuff we use, with the content we produce, with the graphics, with the scoreboards and everything. Everything does cost, and sadly, prices go up because the cost of living. I know times are tough out there, but please, 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 if you can, it's a little. I feel like I'm begging. I'm not begging. I'm just asking politely, please, please, 99 pence. We've tried to make it as cheap as we possibly well can. We're making a loss. You're the ones that are gaining. You're the ones that are going to get more out of this than we'll do. Any money that goes in, it goes straight back into the channel again. Tequila, if Tequila can put the link in for the memberships, I would be extremely grateful. But guys, if you can, it's something that we were sort of talking about after the show last night, that we want to do more member shows, but we want to do members where you guys get to come in. We want to do more member shows during the day, but we haven't got enough members to make it. So look, I would be extremely grateful if you can, and it really would mean a lot to us if you can. And then it's well worth it. It is well worth it as well. And if you do become a member, there is a draw coming up in the next month where you can win a signed Tottenham shirt. I'm waiting for it to come in. I'm getting one myself, but the one I'm getting is one that's for me. It is a present for me. The person's getting for me is more or less thanking me for the work I do. Where I feel a little bit overwhelmed by that, but we are getting one for you guys. But you can only enter the competition if you're a member. Now, more to that to come in the next couple of weeks, but get in first. Be a chance. You have to be in it to win it. Let's welcome a few people in. Big up to Terry. Paul's sacked by Christmas. I don't know. I don't think so, Terry. I don't think so. I don't think he will be. Big up to Simon Cohen. Big up, Cohen. 7 out of 10 winner for me. Do you know what, Cohen? Simon, I agree with you. I think it's 7 out of 10 for me. Look, I agree with Tequila at his point in a minute. Big up to SDFC Benny. Big up to you. I expect 5th place if we don't win any cups. I think, look, I've always been SDFC Benny. I've always been glory before top 4. And I always will be glory before top 4. So, yeah, for me, cups for 4. And look, 5th place in the cup, I'd be over the moon with that. I'd take 8th in the cup win. I really would. Because if you win a cup, it gets you into Europe anyway. So you've got basically 4 chances of getting into Europe next season. So basically, that's what I do. Big up to Tequila, 6 out of 10 due to how rubbish you are at selling our Deadwood. Yeah, I agree. Too short this window. I agree. We're going to go through the squad as well. Big up to Starman as well. COYS, hi, Demo and chat. Big up to you. The Champions League squad will be only 22 players. Bad planning. Yeah, it is. It really is. 8th place and no cups. It may get you into Europe 8th place, actually, Tequila. It depends if the team above win a European competition. So say Chelsea finish 5th, right? And they win the Europa League and they go into the Champions League, then that opens up another space. So top 8 could actually get Europe this year. So it wouldn't be bad. And I'll big up to you. Big up the Starman. Big up to you, Starman, becoming a YouTube member. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it, bud. Well done. Thank you. The only man that makes me want to get out my my David Bowie LPs and just sing Life on Mars. But thank you so much indeed. Means so much to me, Tequila and the gang here, Starman. Thank you so much. And yeah, follow Starman's lead, guys. Come on. Don't let him be the only member tonight. Go on, join him because you know you want to. Right, guys. Let's go through some of the news from today. We've got a bit to get through, so let's go through it. I need to do something as well if I can, because I was being a little bit. Let's let me anyone. There we go. There you go. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone, by the way, who tuned in yesterday and tuned into the stream yesterday and joined me and James on our marathon stream yesterday. Absolutely, really appreciate it. A big day for the channel. Got a few new subscribers, so we're heading up to nearly. Would love to get to 2,200 before the West Ham game, but look, we're getting there. So thank you so much indeed. Now, guys, this is the Tottenham third kit, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely adore it. I'm going to get one myself. I won't get it from Mr. Levy. I'm going to get it from a third party. But yeah, absolutely love the shirt. I don't know what you guys think of it. But I don't get me wrong. We've always had an all yellow kit. Goes back to the 70s. We had an all yellow kit in the 92, 93, 91, 92, 92, 3 season. We had a yellow kit not so long ago. And I love the idea they've gone with the old type badge as well. The 1990s logo that we had back in the day. Absolutely love it. I don't know what you guys think in the chat. Let me know. But yeah, absolutely adore it. I love the design. It's really old-fashioned. It reminds me, guys, I tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the 1982 away kit we had that we wore in the 1982 FA Cup final. Now, the only thing I would change with this, I would move the Nike badge between the AIA and the Tottenham logo. I'll put the Nike badge there. I don't like the Nike badge in the corner. I just think it looks a little bit... Ugh. But apart from that, I love it. I absolutely adore it. And it's probably going to be one of my favorite kits. Guys, what do you think? Let me know in the chat. What do you think? I love it. But that is it, guys. That is our third kit for the 25-26 season. And one thing about kits, I wish they'll keep the kits. One thing I would like clubs to bring in, if you have a new kit, it's got to last you 2 seasons. Because if you think about it, right? If you think about it, this kit, Tottenham are selling this kit for €101. I actually looked on the website today. The men's side, this is for a man's 3XL, right? €101. Now, I've already seen it on other sites, third-party sites for less than that. Now, I'm not saying you to go and spend money on the third-party site, but this is where I bought this top from, a third-party site. But €101. Our kit's becoming too expensive now. And if you have a child, right, who's 9, 10 or 11, 8, 9, 10 or 11, right, mad into Tottenham, they're going to want this kit. They're going to want the latest kits, not the first one. They want the home, the away, and the third kit, right? So you're looking nearly £400 just spending on kits alone. But is it worth €101? I don't think so. I remember years ago, when I used to get my kits from Tottenham under Alan Sugar, kits used to cost me, what, £50? Not even that. And £50, you sometimes just get the whole kit. Now, I get the top, and top be about £40. But yeah, kits have gone so expensive now. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Starman. I am going to get a fake one. He says, kits are a lot of money and, get a fake one. Yeah. Well, this here, the top I'm wearing, this top here is a third-party kit. Even my... is it this one? No. Yeah, even my hoodie that I had for last year's home kit was a third party one as well. But yeah. Yeah. Good evening, one and all. Nice shirt, but they can shove their price up their ass. Exactly. I agree with you, Wayne. 100%. 100%. Absolutely agree with that. But I don't know. Are the under-21s calling tonight, actually? I wonder if the under-21s are actually playing tonight. Can you check? I love the retro crits too, Starman. I do. I wish that I tell you which kit I like, right? Just let me take that down. Just to I tell you the kits I like, right? I love the kits of the I love the 80s ones, right? I love the 87, 88 one. The one Gaza wore. I like the 1980, 81 kit. I love that kit with the cockerel in the middle. That's why I love this top. And that's why I love the new home top. It reminds me so much of the 1980s kit that we use. Big up to this man I will bring up because he's a legend. He is a legend. Big up to Brenny74. Good evening, sir. Good evening to you. Look forward to joining you on your new Champions League podcast, Brenny. Yes, we are doing that. That's it. Yeah, that's it, Brenny. That's the one. Lee Cook. That was it. I love that kit. Yeah, Brenny is an Arsenal fan. He does a lot of work with Bobby on the Armory, but he started up his new channel. And he's getting together all the teams that are in the Champions League. So I, of course, will become the one for the Tottenham side. He'll be talking to the Arsenal side. I think we're getting a Liverpool fan and the Chelsea fan. And we're doing a podcast every Champions League week, before and after, where we all talk about how we got on. It's going to be fun. It's going to be feisty. It's going to be a lot of piss taken out of each other, especially if Tottenham win and all them lose. But yeah, we are going to have a bit of a Champions League debate as well between us all. We're going to go through our fixtures, which I thought we got a really good draw last week, by the way. I like some of the Holland tops from the 70s and 80s. Yeah, they're cool. I tell you one thing I did. I love the Old Island retro tops, the ones we wore back in the day as well, by the way. They were absolutely fantastic. Right, let's get on. Now, this next thing I've got, right, I was sitting today at the computer and I'm thinking, right, we've got our injuries, but what team that I think would turn up against West Ham? Which team do you think that Thomas Frank is going to pick for the West Ham game? And I sat there for about 45 minutes pondering this. Now, I knew the formation I was going to play, so that was a given. And I was sitting there pondering, who do I pick? How do I go about it? And I came to realization. I went for this side. I went with Vicario and goal with a back four of Jed Spence, Mickey van der Ven, Christian Romero as captain, Pedro Porro. Porro is the back five, a back top defensive midfield to Palhinha and Bentancur. And then the front three is Randall, Kulu. We've got Savi Simmons, Kudus, and of course, Solanke's out injured. Richie up front. Now, we could interchange that and put Randall up front, and put Xavi on the left, and put Papasar in the middle. But this is what I went with. I will put this up onto our channel post to see what you guys think. I also will be putting this up. If you notice, I haven't picked Brennan Johnson, which is probably be a lot of a shock for you because Brennan Johnson's probably biggest fan here. But yeah, this is my 11. I want to know what you guys think. Do you like it? Would you make any chances? Johnson's in my. Do you know what, Starman? He's in my dream. He's in my dream team too. Actually, to be fair. So I got rid of him today. Yeah, he was. He wasn't doing a lot for me. I actually sold Haaland as well because I thought Haaland was a heap of crap. But tomorrow, 4:00, guys, there will be a member show, and it will be your fantasy team. Starman, you can join the fantasy team as well. Join the league. The link is in the member section on the channel, on YouTube's channel. So please look there. Wayne Bonner yourself, get yourself in there, get yourself a team and join the crack because it is good at the moment. Ryan, all I can say is Ryan is flying at the top at the moment. But poor old Colum is slumping to the bottom of the league. We all need to give Colum a big hug and a big pick-me-up. But let me know, guys, what you think. That is my starting 11 that I think will go with against West Ham. Let me know what you think. This is the squad this is the 25-man squad that I have picked, and I think Thomas Frank has already picked for the Premier League. So I've gone with a Vicario, I've gone with Kinski, and I've gone with Brandon Austin. I'll go with the defensive pairing of Davis, Danso, Teki, Dragonson, Mickey van der Ven, Mike Porro, Jed Spence, Christian Romero and Udogi. We've got also, this is the midfield, including the wingers and that sort of attackers. I've gone for Papasar, Archie Gray, Bergville, James Maddison. Now, the reason I picked James Maddison, we all know he's out injured, right? But I didn't want Basuma in the 25-man squad. So for me, that is why I picked James Maddison. Palhinha, Xavi Simons, Matheus Tel, Kudus, and Odegaard. Then the front attacking lineup. I don't know why did I? Hang on, I will get it. Sorry, I didn't do this right. There we go. There's my attacking. I've got, because Dean Scarlett did stay at Tottenham. He's in the squad. Dean Scarlett. We've got Carlo. We've got Xavi Simons. He can play as a striker as well, guys. And Richarlison. So that is why I went for that. Now, it was transfer day yesterday, and a lot of you have been wondering who we bought, who we sold. Big up to Henry COYS. Big up to you, Henry. Who we sold, who we haven't sold, and what is the state of play. So the state of play is this. This is all the incomings. We had Mohammed Kudus for 55 million quid. Xavi Simons, 51 million quid. Matheus Tel, 30 million plus because of the loan deal. Danso is also 21 million with the loan deal. Palhinha is a loan with an obligation to buy at 30 million euro. I think that might get taken down to 15. We had to pay a 4.3 million loan fee. And Randall Kulu Marani is a 4.3 million loan fee as well. So, I mean, if you look at that, right, income, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. We bought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bought in 6 players that can go straight into the first team. Simmons and Randall Kulu can play in multiple positions across the front three, so we can chip and change there. But something was said last night on another channel I was watching. About are we going to overuse these players? And that's the problem, isn't it? About overusing the players, the front three especially. But, you know, we do have January coming up. So I do hope if we need backing up in January, we can. These are the outgoings. Brian Hill for 8.7 million, Heung-min Son for 20 million, and Horbia for 17 million quid. Now, out on loan, we know Luke has gone out on loan. Yang Min Yuk has gone to Portsmouth on loan. Manon Solomon last night at the death went to Villarreal after the deal with Crystal Palace collapsed at the very last minute. Now, he's not been, let's put it politely, he's not been really welcomed with open arms over there, to be fair. Ashley Phillips has gone to Stoke. We got Alejandro Velez has gone to a team in Argentina. Alfie Devine has gone to Port Vale. And then we got the under-21s. George Abbott's gone to Wickham. Daniel Aljaji's gone to Doncaster, where he's doing very well at the moment. Jamie Donnelly's gone to Stoke as well. Alfie Donington's gone to Aberdeen. Terry's Hall has gone to Notts County. Will Lancashire has gone to Oxford. And Mikey Moore is at Rangers, where I think he should have gone to Celtic myself. But there you go. And then that is it. But look, that's sort of where we've ended up with the window and the players who have gone where and the players who have stayed, who have gone. The 25-man squad. Big up to you, Shawnee. He says, I'm surprised we didn't. Do you know what? I am too. I am very too. But I want to go back to something, guys, right? And it's really, who did we sell? We only sold 3 players. Now, I do know other markets are still open. Other players can still move. Shawnee, don't push it now. Don't push it. Don't push it. But no, look, I think we should have done better on the outgoings. Look, Brian Hill for 8.7 million. I don't think we're going to get any more than that. I think it rounded up to 10 million with everything that's added to it. So look, it never worked out for him here, did it? Sonny, you know, it is what it is. Højbjerg, I would have kept Højbjerg. I think Frank would have liked Højbjerg in the team. I think he offers you more than Basuma. And why Basuma is not on that. And look, I get people in the chat now are gonna say, but why is he still here? You know, there is holes in this squad. Yeah, there is. I mean, if you go through the squad, right, let's go back. If you go through the squad, goalkeepers, I think we're well covered. Defense, I think we've still got covered here. You know, I'll get to the comments in a minute because there's a few comments coming in, and I just want to have my opinion on them. I think defensively, look, you would take Ben Davies out and put Luca into that in his place. Out of them defenders, I think Ben Davies and Dragusin goes, and you bring in I'm trying to think now what I was going to say now. What was I going to say now? Do you know when something's on the tip of your tongue and you can't think what it is? I just had a mind block, which I don't normally get. Oh yeah, that's it. If you bring Ben Davies and Dragusin out, you put Luca and then bring another centre back in. Now, apparently, we're looking at Joe Gomez from Liverpool. And I don't think Joe Gomez would have been a bad shout actually as a backup. That's my opinion. Okay. So apart from that, I think the rest of the defense is quite strong. I think, but the other problem is we've got one problem, and it's called Jed Spence. Because Jed Spence is the only player that can play left and right. And if he gets injured, we're going to be pretty fucked if, say, Dragusin is out. And that means if say, Udogie or Porro is out, that means Davis will have to play that. And we know he got rinsed against Bayern Munich. And I said it all watch along. He got absolutely rinsed. But apart from that, I think it's quite strong. I think so. But if you look at if you look at the players that we've got going out on, I just do that. There you go. That's better. If you look at the players we've got going out on loan, I think next season you may see some changes in the back as a defensive unit. I mean, you may see actually Phillips starting to be used more. You may see Alfie Dorrington being used more. So there's more people to be brought in, by the way. And I do feel that we've got really good defenders in Romero and Mickey van der Ven and Porro, Udogie, Jed Spence. I think Kevin Danso as well can be a good defender. I think Taki, for what I've seen of him on plenty of highlight reels, is going to be a really good defender. I just think the two weak links are Ben Davies and Dragusin. But Dragusin could surprise us. Dragusin could come out and have an absolute worldy. So we don't know. When it comes to the midfield, I feel we've got good midfield, actually. There's no Basuma there because I don't think he will be picked for either Premier League or Champions League. I think Sarr's pretty good. I think Archie Gray will come into his own. I think Archie Gray and Bergville work well together in the central of that midfield. I think James Maddison, when he comes back, will be pretty effective too. Palhinha, for me, what a signing. And I think he's going to turn out to be a good signing. We've got Simmons, we've got Matez Tell. Look, I think with Simmons in there, I think you're looking at two defensive defenders, probably Palhinha and Bentancur, who I didn't put in there, but Bentancur should have been there. I think you will get your creativity from Simmons and Papa Sarr. Actually, I really do. I think Simmons is going to be the link. I think he's going to play in that 10 role, and I think he's going to be the link, and he's going to be the link that's going to pin everything together. And I think that little threesome between Palhinha, Bentancur, and Simmons is going to be very effective. It's when we need to play League Cup games, when we need to give players rest. I think Papa Sarr can play in that 10 role as well. I think we've got a really good midfield, and I think we've got a young, and then I think it's a good mixture between experience and young midfield, and I think it's going to be good. It's going to be a good. I think the squad in the whole is a very good squad, but there's holes that need plugging, and I think that's the problem. Now the front three, as I go to the front four, as I go through all of it. Now look, this is where I got the problem right. Now, as you know, we at the moment. I think striker-wise, we're very poor. And I think if you're going to rely on Randall to do the job, I think he may do the job. I think he may be the striker we need. But if you're looking to depend on the Solanke or Richie, and I think Richie was really poor against Bournemouth on Saturday. He was dreadful. He kept falling down all over the place. And he wasn't good at all. Look, I just feel that we could have done a whole lot better in this window, but I think we've plugged in some places where we needed plugging, but the rest of it needed plugging in as well, and we haven't done that. Now, is that down to Paratici? No, it's not. Is that down to Lang? Yes, it is, because if you think about it, Lang was in charge of this window, and I think he needs to take responsibility for the window that we had. Now, Shawnee says, I agree. I like Randall, but I don't think Richie is a level. No. And we don't keep Solanke. And look, Solanke's out for the next 3 months, we think. So, it's going to be a lot of handle on Randall. We've got big up to you. It says, I agree with... sorry, let me take that up. I agree with you about centre-back skill. I think the challenge with the CM is a lack of brilliant options on the market. I just need to improve Gray and Star. The market is very poor at the moment, and people want superstars, but you're going to have to pay for them, and we just don't pay for them. Big up to Simon Cohen. Thank you so much. Really kind of you, sir. Tequila also says we've got plenty of guys who run around a lot, but none of them are very creative. Well, I think that's going to be sorted out with Simmons. I really do. I honestly do believe that Simmons is going to be the one. I debate you on that one. Last one. We are Spurs TV. Yeah, I know a lot of fans, right, are very cynical about and joke about our team, right, and joke about the squad we've got and take the piss out of players and take the piss out of the squad that we've got. We all know it should be better. There's no questions about that. We all know it should be better. And we all know when I was putting this show together, I knew there'd be people in the chat just sharpening their knives, sharpening their pencils, ready just to criticize and have just criticizing for criticizing's sake and have no option or no, of what you would have done. And I think we need to give these players a chance, that the ones that came in. It's okay. Look, as Tequila says, obviously we're in there the market for one, hence Gibbs White and Simmons. They would have been talking. Yeah, I get that. I get that too. And he says, I think with Kudus, Xavi, we can cook in midfield. We'll have Kulu eventually. And people seem to forget we've got Kulu coming back as well. People seem to forget that. We've got Kulu coming back probably in November, December. So you add to that in January. You plug the holes in January, the plugs where you back the manager in January with more players. And then for the big push of the season, I think we'll be cooking. I think the squad is not finished yet. We're never, ever, ever going to get everything done in one window. Not a hell chance we're going to get everything done in one window. I think this is a 2 or 3 window process. And I get it. I get it. People are going to get frustrated. I get it. People are going to be angry. I get it. People are not going to want a process. They want success now. I get it. I also get it as well that they're not happy with the board or the owner, or they may not like the manager. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. We're stuck what we're stuck with until January. And I think all we can do is get behind that, get behind the squad that we have. And I think, I'm putting it out there, I think this is a better squad than we had last year. I think this is a far better squad than we had last year. We've got far better players in the squad. Not every one of them is perfect. I totally agree. Not few of them shouldn't be in the squad, and I agree with that as well. But I think this is a far better squad. And if your aim to this season is to get European football, and your aim is to win European football or win a cup, then I think this is the squad. I think if you want to win the league, or you want to win, compete for the league, then, or compete for top four, then I think you have to do more. And I think next summer, with the Paratici controlling the whole budget, controlling the transfer window, controlling the recruitment team, I think you're going to see a far better window. A far better window in January and a far better window next summer. I really do believe that. And everyone has the right to see how they want to see, how to support the team and how they see the team. And I get fans are jaded. I get fans are fed up with 25 years of Levy and Enoch. I get that. But I just think, as optimistic as I am, and a lot of people call me deluded, and a lot of people call me that I'm not with it, it's my opinion. And I think we got a far better squad. We got a far better manager than we did do last year. I think we've got a manager that knows how to organize teams, a manager that knows how to put teams together. He knows how to organize, get teams during the game as well. If he sees something, he will try to change it, like we saw on Saturday. Look, I'm not saying Saturday was a great performance. Saturday was downright awful. But if somebody had said to me at the start of the season, Dermot, would you take 6 points for the first 3 games? I say, oh, hell yeah, I would. And anyone would have thought that would have been Burnley and Bournemouth, and we lose to Man City. But to sit there and be in 4th place, even Arsenal have got the same sort of stuff with us, and they're lower than us. No, they're higher than us because of goal difference. But look, with the Champions League and that, it's always going to be a push. It's always going to be difficult. But ever the optimist, ever the looking forward to it. I think we can have a good season this year. And I'm more confident about this season than I was last season. I'm sitting here at this time of last season thinking, we really haven't done much in the market and we're struggling. This year, we've done more. As Tequila says, we spent 134, but you add Danso and Tell into it, we spent over 204 million on players. Now, the outgoings could have been done more. Yes, of course it could have done. But I think that's a Paratici thing. I think Lang's not very good at outgoings. So I think that will be addressed. But I'm very optimistic about this season. I'm very optimistic that we can win one of the cups and finish in top 7 to 6 place in the league. I think we will. Anything more than that, and I think we're overachieving with the squad we have. But I think this squad is capable of winning a cup and finishing in the top half of the table. And then you add to it next summer. You add to it more. You fill in the gaps next summer. And once you fill out the gaps, then you go up to the next level. And then you fill it again. And then by the time you get to the 3rd transfer window, which will be next summer, and you add into it, you would there be competing and winning and going for it. But you're not going to compete. You're not going to compete against the likes of Man City or teams like that have oil countries or state ownership that they're just plumbing billions and billions into it. You can't compete with that. Until there's a level playing field, until the leagues and the UEFA or the Premier League or the Football Association or FIFA get hold of how you run a football club, you're never going to compete with the big teams in the league. It's always going to be the same teams that win everything. So, until you can fix that problem, or until we as a club are bought by an oil baron or a state ownership, we can then compete with the big boys. But at the moment, you're competing to win top 5. Because unless the teams above you have a really poor season and go off the edge of a cliff, and really, I got to bring this up. If you compare to our window to Liverpool's, it's shampoo. Liverpool's attacking virtues were great, but their back line is shocking because they've only got one defender, and Van Dijk goes injured. They really haven't got anyone of quality to cover it. You know, the deal for the Crystal Palace defender, who I think is a very good defender, collapsed last night. So Liverpool haven't got, and they let a player go as well, Liverpool. They let a defender go. So they haven't got really cover for the back. Yeah, they may have bought brilliant 250 million, but they didn't spend anything last year. So that's why they were able to spend more money this summer, because they didn't spend anything last summer. And really, are we in the same category as Liverpool as the champions? No, we're not. So trying to compare our window to theirs is like saying, I'll try to compare our window to somebody, to say Real Madrid or Barcelona. We're not in that league. We're in the league to finish up. We're in the league to compete for top 5, for top 6. We're not to compete to win the league. So trying to compare ours is, it's ridiculous. That's the most silliest thing. Compare our window to Liverpool. What's the point? You compare to our window to the team around us. You don't compare our window to the team that's going to win the league. So, you know, I just find that a little bit sort of, you can't make an argument with that. And then you go, Wayne says Liverpool are levels. Of course they're levels above us. But, you know, you can compare our window to Liverpool's window. It's like saying, oh, I'm going to compare Asda's window to Tesco's windows, right? Who's got the cheapest thing? They're both the same. Aldi and Lidl say, oh, we're cheaper than Tesco's. But what's it? It's only about €1 difference or €2 difference between the two. You know, I don't know. Big up to Steve Vanderbilt. Spurs. Daniel Levy believes he's winning by making ENIC big money on the return from purchasing Spurs. Yes, it's true. Never was harsh, but without multiple brilliant windows, strong development. Yeah, exactly. Tequila says teams around us was Man United and 3 relegated teams. Yeah, well, we've outperformed them, haven't we? People said that about, same thing about Liverpool last year, Dermot. They said they only bought in Chazza and they will drop off. No, I don't get your point then. If your point saying is, right, you're saying, let me get this point, that if you compare our windows to Liverpool, it's shambolic. What are you trying to compare? What are you trying to make? What's your point on that? What's your point on trying to compare our, because I think if you look at teams around us, I don't think no team apart from Liverpool, Arsenal, I hate to say, and probably Liverpool and Arsenal, the only 2 teams I think in the league that have really done well in the window. Yeah, my point is, you said they don't have defensive depth. They were supposed to get the Palace defender in. They sold the defender, and they've been left short now in the back. Outperforming United, not sure on that one. I'm not saying we outperformed United, right? And I think if people just, we haven't outperformed United. The point I'm making is, if you look at the players that every club has bought in the Premier League, if you compare, say, our window, say, to, I don't know, teams around, say Villa, for example, right? You compare our window to Aston Villa. I think we've had a better window than Villa, and Villa are sitting bottom of the league at the moment, 3 out of 3, not even scored a goal. You compare our window to, say, Arsenal or Liverpool's or possibly Manchester United's, then no, it's nowhere good enough. We're behind them, and that is the point. But You look at the start of the season we've had a good start to the season where Villa are at the bottom. Look, you can never compare windows teams to teams windows. All we can do is look at the window we've done and look at the window that we've created. And I get there's going to be a lot of people out there will be I don't know, I you can only compare to the window that you've bought. It's no point comparing it to Liverpool's or Manchester United's or Chelsea's or Arsenal's or Villa's or whatever. You look at what you got, and everyone sees a window differently. Nobody will see the window the same. I have different views on it to most of you people in the chat. And I think 9 times out of 10, I think a majority of you in the chat wouldn't agree with me, wouldn't agree on what my opinions are. And I think there's a majority of you in the chat think that I don't know what I'm talking about. And I just waffle and talk rubbish. And I know there is, and I don't care. I have my opinion. I see it how I see it. 45 years supporting Tottenham, I see things very differently to maybe some of the younger generation see it. I've seen better Tottenham teams and better squads than this. I've seen better squads at Tottenham than this one. This is not a bad squad. I think this is better than last year's squads, by the way. And I wouldn't swap our squad, majority of them, for no other teams. Maybe change a few things. And look, we need to improve on selling. I do completely agree with that. But I do feel when the season starts off again and these players get going, I think a few people may change their minds. Now, it'll be different once the Champions League's kick in and we're playing 2 games a week. Then you're going to see that we haven't really strengthened the squad to go with 4 competitions. I think that may be a problem. But that's where January comes in. If we can get to January, still in the League Cup, still in the Champions League competitively, and then we've got the FA Cup to come, you get the January and you start filling in some of the places where we need filling in, then I think you will see an improvement. But I think between now and then, I think some of the players we've brought in, and I'll say it again, I think this is a better window than we had last year. And people seem to forget the shit window we had last year. I really do. I think people seem to forget our window last year was a heap of shite. And Lang didn't help Ange in either window. Like him or not, Ange in or Ange out or Ange stuck in the middle, he never got back to neither window. And I just feel that where we have spent money over the last 4, 5, 6 years, I think we haven't spent it right. I think we've bought the wrong players. And I think if we spent the money wisely, I think we'd have a much stronger squad now. When you've got players like Basuma and players like that show no respect, show no respect to the manager, to his teammates, to his players, turning up late all the time and being late for meetings and being late for this and being late for that. I think players like that need to go. But as I said, there is other windows still open. I think the Turkish League is still open. I think the Saudi Pro League is still open. So there is a chance he could be gone between now and the time that window's closed. But I think what we need to do now is get behind this squad, get behind this team, get behind the manager, and support the team. I think we've got to put everything else to one side and just get behind this squad and get behind this manager. Because we cannot have it again where we get through. And I saw it on Saturday. And I saw it and it really pissed me off, right? I saw it on Saturday, people putting onto X or whatever. No, we are Spurs TV. No, I agree. I don't know what. I totally agree what Thomas Frank done. He done it last season and he never got he got caught taking balloons live on TikTok. I am sorry. You need to be chucked out. He should have been chucked out the squad last summer. So you think it's fair to take balloons and turn up late for training, turn up late for meetings, but that's okay. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Biz. You will still get your game time, but you can do what you want. You can do what you like, but you're not going to be punished for it. No, you'd be punished. If that means missing the Super Cup, it means missing the Super Cup. I totally agree with Thomas Frank. Wholeheartedly. He's a Shawnee Maddox puts his boss. He says, but Biz is a clown. He needs to go. Yeah. What's the point? If you're playing him or bench him, you're still not punishing him, are you? You're still going to say, it's okay, but look, I'm going to play you, but bench you. Yeah, that's fine. You still be a part of the squad. You still be a part of the... I don't want him anywhere near the squad. I don't want him anywhere near the squad. I don't want him anywhere near the team. I don't want him anywhere near the club. The sooner he goes, the better. Do you know? And it's like anything. So if you say for word, right, if you turned up for work, I don't know, you know, if you say We Are Spurs TV, you turned up for work late, right? But you constantly do it day after day after day after day, right? And your manager has warned you, your boss has warned you and warned you and warned you and warned you. What's your boss going to say to you? What's your boss going to say to you? He's going to say to you, he's going to say, do you know what, We Are Spurs TV, don't worry about it. You're late every morning, but look, I'm gonna cut your hours for 2 hours one day, but you know, just try not to be late again. But you continue doing it. Is your boss going to keep you in the job? If I did that, my boss wouldn't keep me in the job. But you're benching somebody for 3 or 4 games. Why? Why? He had to. Every manager that comes in. Yeah, I know you. But you are so you don't. So you think it's okay, right? Let me ask you this. Okay, let me ask you this, right? If you're late if you're late, hang on. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to time you out if you carry on just spamming the chat. I really am. If you're late with Spurs TV, right, for a job, would your boss accept it? Would your boss accept it if you were late every morning for your job? A manager's got to make a stand. He's got to make a stand. This is my club. This is how I manage things. And it's not like Ange, Ange made the mistake last year, by the way, of not dealing with this last year. And now it's gone on to another manager. And don't forget also, Basuma had problems coming from Brighton, which are well documented. So if you think it's okay, he's, as Wayne says, let me bring up Wayne's comment, because he's taking the piss out of the club, manager and teammates who turned up on time early. Exactly. I will bring your comment up as well. Out of fairness, he says, I think it is wrong of Frank to punish him for the final. I would have accomplished the same thing if he benched him and make a stand in the Premier League. No, you make a stand now. You make a stand absolute now. You do it. That is, you need to show other players. If I'm going to if I'm going to make a stand at this football club and my rules state, that means you turn up every time. Now, that's a good point, Tequila. I do know what. That's something I would agree with, by the way. Fish should give his wages to a local charity every time he does it. 2 weeks' wages every time. I get that. Yeah, at least, yeah, exactly. I mean, no, because it costs us a trophy. Right, so you think it's okay then? Right, let's put it this way. You think it's okay streaming live, doing balloons live on TikTok or whatever. You think that's okay? And do you think Ange last year should have banned him? Ange should have banned him last year. Ange should have, after he dived, and he did embarrass us by diving, by the way. People seem to forget that. At Luton, he dived. 3 people around him. No, I didn't say punish him for 3 or 4 games. And right, Look, he needs to go. I went to see him at Crystal Palace last year. He was dog shite. He was absolutely crap. He didn't try. He walked around like he owned the place. He didn't bust the gut for his teammates. He didn't bust the gut when Palace were attacking us. He let 2 Palace players get behind him 3 times in a row. And you're telling me that we should forgive and forget and let him come? No, bollocks that. You know, we lost the Super Cup because we were tired out, and PSG for the final 10 minutes were the better team, and the players that we had to bring on didn't do their job properly. Can someone please? I'm just going to take a drink for a minute. I think that's quite rude for your Spurs TV, by the way, what you just said. I actually did read what I said. You're saying he should be benched for 3 or 4 games. We should have played him in the final and said the tell, and we would have won the game. And it's all about a trophy to you. Am I getting that right? That's sort of the gist of your comment. I don't agree with you. I think Basuma needs to go, and the sooner he goes, the better. And he'll still go. He was supposed to go to Fenerbahce or Galatasaray, but he failed the medical because of his injury. I paid his contract off as well, by the way. But yeah, I do you know what? I do this because I enjoy doing it. I don't do it so someone can sit in the chat and just take the piss out of me. I do try to read everyone's comments up as well as I can. I don't think he does care. I don't think Bit doesn't care about football, but it's the final has fatigue. Yeah, and I think as a manager, you've got to set a standard that the rest of the players have to follow. And if you don't follow that standard, and if you don't make a stand earlier on, then you're going to lose the dressing room. And dyslexia is not an illness. Dyslexia is. I might take a couple of balloons, by the way. Yeah, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. Yes, dyslexia is what I have. So, you know, it does make it hard to read. It's not an illness. It's just something that I've been born with. And having autism and ADHD doesn't help either. So, you know what? I do the best I can. I read the best I can. I try to read everyone's coming out because I think it's fair, members or non-members. And I try to make it as fair as I can for everyone. If people want to say what they say about me, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I'll still keep doing what I'm doing because I'm damn good at what I do. I come on air, I come on camera and talk to you guys. People think I'm delusional. Probably am. But it doesn't bother me. I love what I love doing, and I love doing this. I love doing this channel. And it yeah, if you can sort me out for the Manchester game, Wayne, I'll be with you. No, it's not. I'm just trying to say, maybe it is an illness. Maybe it's not. I wasn't taking a shot at anyone. I'm just trying to explain what dyslexia is. Dyslexia is something that is a brain imbalance. It's something to do with your brain. The chemical of your brain's right. Everyone can have it. And it's something that isn't really easily recognized. And it should be recognised early. Should be. But look, it is what it is. Guys. Okay, listen, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all for watching. Please hit the like button and subscription button if you can. And then I will be back on Thursday. I'm having a few days off. Family thing to do tomorrow. And then I'll be back Thursday or Friday. But anyway. But good luck. Yeah, I think I might do a 9 o'clock stream. It might be good to swear. But guys, thanks for watching. Take care. All right. And I will speak to you soon. And yeah, do hit the like button and subscription button if you can. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. And yeah, see you later. Bye-bye.